Hi, this is Munson from Munson Music, and we're going to talk about how you can strum through a song called Because of You by Neo. And we're going to end up capoing this on 3rd fret to match the recording. But we're going to start off with kind of those intro licks where you play 1st fret on the B string, and then 3rd fret on the high E string, 1st fret on the high E string, and then open E, and then 1st fret on the B string, and then 1st fret on the B, and then 3rd on the high E string, 1st fret on the high E, open E, B string on the 1st fret, and then 1st fret on the B, and then 3rd fret on the high E string, 1st fret on the high E string, open E, and then we do kind of a hammer-on pull-off on the B string. So I'm kind of playing 1st fret on the B, and then kind of putting my 3rd finger down to carry the sound to 1st fret, and then we just kind of start that lick over again with 1, 3, and then we go 3 on the high E string, and then open E. So all together you're going C, G, F, E, C, C, G, F, E, C, C, G, F, E, C, D, C, C, D, G, E. It's kind of that intro. Now the chords that would back that up would start on an F major chord. And we'll talk about a really easy way to play that, but if you know the bar F major, you do your 1st finger across the entire 1st fret, 2nd finger on the B string, 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the D string, 3rd fret, and the pinky on the D string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an F major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. Now, a good substitute for that, though, is something called F major 7. The way you play F major 7, 1st finger goes to the B string on the 1st fret, 2nd finger on the G string, 2nd fret, and 3rd finger on the D string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds an F major 7, and it sounds really happy. And then from the F, we're going to go to a G major chord. When you play G major, 1st finger goes to the A string on the 2nd fret, 2nd finger on the low E string on the 3rd fret, and 3rd finger on the high E string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. And then from the G, we're going to be going to an A minor chord. We play A minor. 1st finger goes to the B string on the 1st fret, 2nd finger on the D on the 2nd fret, and 3rd finger on the G string on the 2nd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an A minor chord, and it sounds really, really sad. And then from the A minor, we're going to go back to our F, and then back to our G, and then we kind of backtrack to the F, and then a G, and then we go to a D minor chord. And the way we play D minor, 1st finger goes to the high E string on the 1st fret, 2nd finger goes to the G string on the 2nd fret, and 3rd finger goes to the B string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds a D minor chord, and it sounds really, really sad. Now through that part, it almost feels a little bit like little arpeggios or broken chords. So you may want to kind of take each of those chords and you could kind of break them up different ways, kind of playing individual notes. Kind of throwing that out as kind of a free form, you may want to kind of just kind of think about taking the chords and kind of breaking them up. So that can sound a little bit more like the recording. F, G, D minor. But a lot of times to support my voice with a song like this, I like to use something called a strum pattern. And one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down, up. So if you took the F and just tried that a lot, you'd have down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Now the weird part about applying that to our intro is on the F and G, actually towards the end, we may just want to just kind of half the strum pattern on those chords, so just kind of doing a down, down, up on each one. So if we tried our intro with our strum pattern, we'd have F, down, up, G, down, down, up, down, up, A minor, down, down, up, down, up, A minor, down, down, up, down, up, F, down, down, up, down, up, G, down, down, up, down, up, F, down, down, up, G, down, down, D minor. And there's some places where you may just want to kind of work some stops into it too. And then from there, then we'd be going into our verse part, which is kind of like a little variation of that, where we got F, down, up, G, down, down, up, down, up, A minor, down, down, up, down, up, A minor, down, down, up, down, up, F, down, down, up, G, down, 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 up, A minor, down, down, D minor, F, down, down, G, down, down, A minor, down, down, A minor, F, G, F, down, basically be repeating that, but after for our chorus. Now the weird part is at the very end of our chorus, there's this cool little chorus tag where you can play an F and then go to an E minor chord. And when we play E minor, first finger goes to the A string on the second fret, second finger on the D string second fret, and if you strum all those together, that sounds like E minor chord. That kind of happens right before or right at the end of our chorus where we do an F with kind of a halving E minor and then kind of do our D minor. And you can work those D minors as kind of pushes. So F, down, up, E minor, down, down, D minor, kind of for that chorus tag. And then we'll basically be repeating those parts until we get to our bridge part. And on our bridge, we go to a B flat major. And the way you play B flat major, normally you do this as a bar. First finger would go across the entire first fret. Second finger on the D string's third fret, third finger on the G string third fret, and the pinky on the B string third fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a B flat major chord. Now a lot of times with bar chords though, you can take small or the skinny strings and make smaller versions of that chord. So you could do first finger on the high E string on the first fret, pinky on the B string third fret, third finger on the G string on the third fret, and kind of strum the top 3 or the top 4 strings, and that's another way you can play your B flat major. And then from the B flat, we're going to be going to our A minor chord, but then we go to an A flat major. Normally you do this as kind of an F major shape, but now you have first finger as a bar on 4th fret, second finger on the G string 5th fret, third finger on the A 6th fret, and pinky on the D string 6th fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an A flat major. And then from the A flat major, and you could kind of make smaller versions of that too. You could take the first finger and kind of do the bar over the top 2 strings, second finger on the G string on the 5th fret, maybe even third finger on the D string on the 6th fret, and kind of make a smaller version of that chord. And then from the A flat, we're going to be going to a G minor chord, and this would be like a 3rd fret bar, third finger on the A string on the 5th fret, pinky on the D string on the 5th fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G minor chord, and it sounds really, really sad. Now you may want to take kind of the smaller few strings and kind of work smaller versions of that. So if you borrow the top 2 or the top 3 or the top 4, it's another way you can kind of play your G minor. And then from the G minor, we're going to be going to a G flat major. And the way you play G flat major is kind of the F shape, but now from the 2nd fret, second finger on the G string 3rd fret, third finger on the D string 4th fret, and the pinky on the D string on the 4th fret. And if you strum all those together, that's an F sharp major or G flat major. And then from the F, then we're going to be sliding that down 1 fret to an F major. And you could kind of make smaller versions of that F sharp, so you're actually kind of digging on those other shapes. You could kind of work it that way. And then from the F, then we end up back on our B flat major, which with the B flat major for myself, actually what feels better is to kind of work that as a double bar with kind of the first finger across the entire 1st fret, third finger over the D, G, and B strings. You could also substitute in a B flat major 7 for that, and that can sound really groovy too, where you do first finger bar, second finger on the G string 2nd fret, third finger on the D string 3rd fret, and the pinky on the B string on the 3rd fret. You want to kind of think about that too as a little bit jazzier kind of B flat sound. So if we tried our strum pattern through our bridge part, we'd have our B flat major, A minor, A flat major, G minor, B flat major, A minor, A flat major, G minor, F sharp major, F major, B flat major 7, B flat. And then from there, then we'll be going back into our chorus for our outro. Now the weird part is to play along with Neo. Instead of starting on an F major chord, he's actually starting on an A flat major chord. So what you want to do to play along with the recording is take a capo, and if you put the capo on 3rd fret, then now your F is really A flat major, your G major is really B flat major, your A minor is really a C minor chord, your D minor is really an F minor chord, your E minor is really a G minor chord, and when we get to it, the B flat is really a D flat major, and your A flat major is really a B major, your G minor is really a B flat minor, your F sharp is really an A major chord, and the F major is really A flat major. We kind of talked about that already. And your so anyway, to take it from the very, very beginning, you may want to kind of kick it off with those intro licks. kind of working that 1 3 1 0 1. So that might be kind of a cool way to kind of kick off the tune. Or if you wanted to, you could kind of throw in the basses for that. And little arpeggios actually could be kind of a cool thing. So that might be kind of a cool way to kind of intro the tune too, is kind of throwing in some pieces of those chords in the background. So kind of an option there. So that might be kind of a cool way to kind of work it. Or we could just strum through those chords, and we'd have F, down, up, down, G, down, down, up, down, A minor, down, down, up, down, A minor, down, down, up, down, F, down, down, up, down, G, down, down, up, down, F, down, down, G, down, down, D minor. And then from there, we'd be going into our first verse. F, down, up, down, G, down, down, up, down, A minor, down, down, up, down, A minor, down, down, up, down, F, down, down, up, down, G, down, down, up, down, A minor, down, down, up, down, D minor, or you can kind of work those hits. F, down, down, G, down, down, up, down, A minor, down, down, up, down, A minor, down. Then we'll be going into our chorus part, so we're kind of repeating a lot of that. F, down, up, down, G, down, down, up, down, A minor, down, down, up, down, A minor, down, down, up, down, F, down, 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 G, down, 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 A minor, D minor, F, G, A minor. Tag at the end where we do the F, down, up, E minor, down, up, D minor, down, up, down, up. And then from there, then we'll be going into our next verse. Now, one other thing I would think about adding to this song, though, is bass notes. And a lot of times on that first down, the down, down, up, down, you can throw in a bass for the chord. So on the F bar, you'd have the low E string for the bass. On the G, we'd have the low E string for the bass. On the F major 7, you'd have the D string for your bass, down, up, down. On the A minor, you'd have the A string for your bass. On the D minor, you'd have the D string for your bass. On the E minor, we'd have the low E string for the bass. And when we get to it, on the B flat major, you'd have the A string for the bass. We're doing the bar B flat. On the A flat, we'd have the low E string. On the G minor, we'd have the low E string. And you may have to kind of fake that if those are using those smaller versions of those chords. You may have to fake that on another string. And on the F sharp, we have the low E string. F, we have the low E string for the bar, and on that B flat major 7, we have the A string bass too. So we tried our bridge with a down, down, up, we'd have B flat. Oh, well, if we tried that next verse with a bass down, up, we'd have F with a bass, down, down, G with low E bass, down, down, B minor with an A bass, down, down, B minor with an A bass, F bass, down, down, G with low E bass, down, down, B minor with an A bass, down, down, D minor with an E bass, down, down, F with the bass, down, down, G with low E bass, down, down, B minor with an A bass, down, down, B minor with an A bass, down, down, F with the bass, down, down, G with low E bass, down, down, F with the bass, down, G with low E bass, down, D minor, down, down, F, down, down. And then from there, then we'll be going back into our chorus part. So F, down, down, G with low E bass, down, down, A minor with an A bass, down, down, A minor with an A bass, down, down, F with the bass, down, down, G with low E bass, down, down, A minor with an A bass, down, down, D minor with an E bass, down, down, F with the bass, down, down, G with low E bass, down, down, A minor with an A bass, down, down, A minor with an A bass, down, down, F. chorus tag where we got that F, E minor, D minor. And then from there, then we'll be going into our bridge part. So if you're trying to bridge with the bass down, up, down, up, we'd have B flat, A minor, A flat major, G minor, B flat, A minor, A flat, G minor, F sharp major, F, B flat, another B flat. And then from there, then we'll be going into our last chorus for our outro. So we've got the F down, up, G, A minor, A minor, F, G, D minor. But then we go back to that F, G, D minor again. F, G, D minor is kind of our outro chorus tag. And then we hit our F, E minor, but then we go to an A minor, kind of for our outro. But that's the basics of how you get strummed through Because of You by Neo. So good luck!